Hello and welcome back to my tutorials. Today's topic is physics simulation. As in real life, to do that we need to animate first, then do the simulation mathematically. So in real life, if we pick up the stone and throw, we animate this stone for a while unless we release. Then gravity will pull down and it will fall eventually. So I'm using Blender 3.4, but doesn't matter, it will work with any other. Just let me open screencast and select here add plane. This will be our ground, and change physics for the ground to rigid body passive. If we choose active, for example, when start playing it will fall down. So passive means do not move. Now we'll press 3 on numpad and add some sphere. UV sphere is good. G, Z, and I will set here 10 meters. Zoom out a little bit and move everything down. On y-axis we'll move minus 15 meters because I found experimentally that it will fall exactly as another ball sitting on 10 meters away from the initial point. Just let me disable this camera, this is very distracting. So shift D to duplicate this and place here 10 meters from the offset from the 0 and up on z-axis 10. So here if we choose active it will fall immediately, but we did not yet animate this one. So rigid body in physics we should to say animated and put keyframe by pressing this dot, which becomes rhomb. Now it is keyed by means on animation versus dynamic, but is not keyed yet in space. So we should to press I and choose location. There is 3 ways to do that, or here, depending where is your cursor, or here, I, then all channels, but it's the best actually here. Press I automatically, no need to choose location because we pointed to location. Also, third way is here by choosing this one. If we change something, then double click one, disable, enable new location. So let's back to minus 15 meters, double click. Now back to physics tab, and on next frame move to another location, let's say minus 5 meters. Choose animated, and on next frame there should be dynamic, not king location. It will not work yet. Let me try to zoom. Now I have problem with something, probably screencast interfering with everything. It's a little bit slow. I'm trying to zoom. Sorry for that. Now we have this exactly as we wish. Just now I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, I pressed dot on keypad so that we found our object, and now it is not exactly as we planned. It is not animated by means of physics. What we need is actually move those two keyframes one at least one position to the right. G, I'll move one position. Now, oh, seems that I missed this part. Did not select -5 and press I. Now back to this, and it is too fast. Let me check frame per second. We have 24 frames per second. So instead here we will move to frame 24, that is 1 second. Press G and move so that it is on frame 24. This means that if we start here on -15 meters to -5, this is 10 meters per second per 24 frames. We may choose 2 frames, but it's a little bit confusing. We should to calculate divide and so on. So it is good to actually have some space to accelerate. Now, I promise you that it will fall at the same place. Okay, now it seems that yes, ground is too small. Let's expand. And it doesn't fall. Why? Because by default there is actually different. Let's make some space here. Additional window and graph editor. Now choose this and select Y location. This is the Y location, and we can see, if I can move actually, that there is a different spline setting. It slowly accelerate and then decelerate. This is problematic part. So here we can choose instead Bezier linear interpolation for both points. I think it is automatically second one, but anyway, now try, and that's it. Yet I promise that it will fall at the same time, but look, this second sphere, this ball is animated immediately, actually simulated immediately. So we need to do exactly the same thing as we did with this one. So in this frame we should do not keyframe, but rather in physics should to do animated keyframe, frame 24. We should do keyframe still animated, and next frame dynamic. So we have 24 still animated, dynamic. Now let's back to, now it will begins to fall at the same time. Of course, if we want to know exactly, because it collides, we can choose numpad 7, move little bit off G, X to the left, so that it misses slightly. And by selecting 3 on a numerical pad, so we can put as many balls or other objects to fall and move as we want. For example, we want to see how it will look if we on surface of the moon, where gravity is about 1/6 of the gravity on the Earth. So again, I will remove this camera because it interferes with our picture. So set gravity this amount divide by 6, and we've got minus 1.6 meter per second. Now we will see how it moves actually. Much slower as expected. I will not push to the end to render, because it is not on the scope of this tutorial, just essentials. so we can do whatever we want. We have now 1/6, pardon. We can increase -20 or so. It will fall immediately, much faster. So let's back to our Earth. -9. Did I press -9.81? For some reason it will round. We can dynamically change this gravity by pressing to get some weird effects if we want, if we need for some reason. Finally, if we want to see exactly when it falls, to confirm that it falls at same time, by experiment I choose -15 meters so that I know that it'll fall very close, so that we can actually zoom in, pardon. And there is problem if you move back and forth, it will sometimes move a different rate. So instead of leaving as is, we can bake by pressing F3 and choose bake all dynamics, all physics bakes. Oh, what I pressed? Delete. Oh, sorry. Bake all physics here. So it will quickly, because it's only two objects, now it is bake. We cannot change anything. We should to delete bake later, but now we can actually go backward and forward, but it will remain calculated. So as you can see, it falls exactly the same time. Of course, if we want more precise, we can choose more frame rate, different frame rate, for example 60 frame rates, or different distance. But we should to delete bake the same way as we baked. So let's move back, F3. If we want to change something, delete all physics bakes. So now this is not more orange, more like yellowish olive color. This means that there is no physics baked, and we can change, we can add more objects. For example, add cube on Y direction, GZ on this direction, and it should to move. Forgot physics. Now it is active. And it moves our cube. Oh, by the way, before I finish this tutorial, bodies fall independently of weight. So we can actually choose this one. Instead 1 kilogram, we can put 1000 kilograms and see what will happen. Exactly the same. So this one we will put, I don't know, 0.01. We did not include other parameters as drag, air drag. There is surface response when it fall down, bounciness, sensitivity, collision, and everything else which you can actually add. Damping, translation, not sure what is that. Let's say that is 1. We have too much damping. This means that air resistance is like some dense liquid. 0.1, 0.5, and it falls with slightly delay. For example, if we want here, we will put 0, but here we will put some numbers. Default is 0.04. There is no, this is some number should to mimic actually air resistance. For example, 0.2, and it will fall later a little bit off. Let's bake it. Bake all physics. And let's see how much it delays due to air resistance. For example, ping pong ball is very light, and it is prone to, so it falls a little bit later. So pay attention to that. Better put to 0 like in vacuum. And now we should to delayed bake because it will be the same. It will late because it is baked. It's been pre-calculated. So F3, delete all physics bakes, and now still false, but you got the idea. That's it, folks. I hope you will enjoy your physics simulations. So this is essential. As in real life, if we pick up some rock or stone or whatever, some ping pong ball, we first animate by drawing it by hand or by other means mechanically, then release. Then we simulate actually looking where this object will fall. That's all. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.